Surviving in a place where danger lurks around every corner is an everyday struggle for some. In certain parts of the world, stepping outside can feel like entering a battlefield where a single moment can change everything. But what leads these cities to descend into such chaos? How do once thriving urban areas become so hazardous that the idea of safety seems like a distant dream? Join us as we uncover 15 of the most dangerous places on Earth where crime, conflict, and instability shape daily life. We'll explore the hidden forces that turn these locations into high-risk zones and reveal the untold stories behind their struggles. Stay with us as we dive deep into the shadows of urban survival. Mexico is infamous for its crime struggles, and Tijuana stands as one of its most perilous cities. Sitting in the northwest with nearly 2 million residents, this coastal city boasts scenic beaches and historic landmarks. However, its violent reputation overshadows its beauty, making it a place of both allure and danger. In the year 2024, Tijuana recorded 1,807 violent incidents, slightly fewer than 2023's 1,868, yet crime remains relentless. On some days, as many as 6 lives are lost, solidifying its grim status. While violence spans the city, districts like Camino Verde, Zona Norte, and Sanchez Taboada are particularly dangerous, heavily controlled by criminal syndicates running illicit trade and organized operations. The disappearance of photographer Hana Kobayashi in December 2024 exposed the harsh risks travelers face, especially those alone. As of 2025, the city's crime index stands at 71.9, reflecting extreme violence levels. Despite ongoing issues, authorities seem either unable or unwilling to act, leaving Tijuana bound to crime with little hope of immediate change. But Tijuana is not alone. Just a few hundred miles north, another city faces a disturbingly similar fate. Let's travel to the United States, where Peabody, St. Louis struggles against a rising tide of crime and lawlessness. St. Louis is one of the most dangerous cities in the United States, with crime rates far exceeding the national average. One of the most violent areas is Peabody-Darst Webby, located near the city's core. Its violent crime rate is over 1,100% higher than the national average, with gang-related conflicts and the illegal drug trade fueling ongoing violence. As of early 2024, Peabody-Darst Webb had a crime rate exceeding 12,000 incidents per 100,000 residents, around 440% higher than the national average. Violent crime alone surged roughly 862% above the norm, reinforcing the area's deadly reputation. However, there have been improvements. In 2023, St. Louis recorded a 21% crime drop, marking the lowest levels in 10 years, with reductions in robberies, aggravated assaults, and shootings. The St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department reported 150 cases in 2024, the lowest figure in 11 years. Overall crime fell by 15% compared to 2023 and by 31% from 2022. While burglaries rose 3% in 2023, law enforcement continues to monitor this closely. Yet Peabody's issues are not unique. Across the nation, once thriving cities are struggling with rising crime and unrest. Let's journey to Detroit, where Fiskhorn faces a crisis much like Peabody's. Detroit's past is a story of both success and hardship. In the early 20th century, it became the world's automotive capital, earning the title Motor City, and its population surged to nearly 2 million. However, the oil crisis of 1973 triggered economic collapse, forcing factories to shut down and leading to mass migration. Once a symbol of prosperity, Detroit fell into decline, becoming one of the most crime-ridden cities in the country. By 2013, the city had officially declared bankruptcy. Even today, Detroit struggles with poverty and crime, though many residents remain hopeful for change. With a population exceeding 600,000, safety remains a major issue, especially in areas like Fiskhorn. This neighborhood has one of the highest crime rates in the city, with 1 in 8 residents falling victim to criminal activity. Robberies, assaults, and homicides are common, making Fiskhorn one of the most dangerous parts of Detroit. Fiskhorn's violent crime rate stands at 5,581 incidents per 100,000 residents, significantly higher than the national average of 370 and Michigan's state average of 461. However, Detroit as a whole has seen progress. In 2024, the city reported 203 violent incidents, a 19% drop from the previous year and the lowest figure since 1965. Non-fatal shootings and carjackings also fell by 25% and 15%, respectively. Still, these improvements have not reached every neighborhood equally, leaving places like Fiskhorn trapped in cycles of crime and instability. Before we move on to the next location, I have a quick request for you. If you've been enjoying this journey, take a moment to hit the notification bell and subscribe to the channel. It's a small gesture that makes a big difference, helping us bring you even better content. If you do that, I promise my team and I will keep working hard to make this show even more exciting. Johannesburg, South Africa's largest city with over 8 million people, is a major economic hub, yet it holds a darker reality. Within its vast urban sprawl lies Hillbrow, one of the most dangerous districts in the world, plagued by overcrowding, unemployment, poverty, and crime. Petty theft is widespread in Johannesburg, with incidents occurring in public spaces and shopping centers, often in broad daylight. Carjackings increased by 25% between July and September of 2022, compared to the same period in 2019, raising safety concerns for both locals and visitors. Hillbrow is notorious for high levels of violent crime, ranking among the most dangerous areas, with 10 reported cases occurring between April and June of 2024 alone. The district's high population density and lack of resources make law enforcement efforts difficult. With few job opportunities and deep poverty, many turn to crime as a means of survival. Additionally, Hillbrow's aging infrastructure has left abandoned buildings that criminals use as hideouts. Despite continued efforts to reduce crime, such as increased police patrols and community initiatives, but the latest reports from the South African Police Service confirm that crime remains a serious issue. The province of Gauteng, where Hillbrow is located, continues to battle major security threats, with no immediate solutions in sight. What do you think drives the high crime rates in Johannesburg, especially in places like Hillbrow? Share your thoughts in the comments below. The Cape Flats is an area deeply affected by severe social struggles, where issues like substance abuse, theft, and violence have become a harsh reality for many. Residents shaped by these conditions often grow up in an unforgiving environment. The situation worsened when former police officer Chris Prinsloo provided local gangs with over 2,500 firearms, leading to the rise of powerful groups such as the Americans, Hard Livings, and JKF. These criminal organizations are involved in illegal trade, intimidation, and attacks against human rights advocates. The presence of these groups has forced authorities to increase patrols, often deploying large police units with advanced equipment. Despite numerous government-led initiatives and local community programs, crime rates continue to escalate. For instance, in March of 2021, a large-scale incident claimed many lives, followed by another similar event 3 months later, affecting several individuals. Law enforcement limitations and outdated policing methods make it difficult to bring lasting stability to the Cape Flats, leaving many trapped in a cycle of crime and fear. Now let's move to Scampia, a district in Naples, Italy, where a similar story unfolds. This is a place where the mafia holds absolute power, the law holds no meaning, and violence remains a daily reality. Scampia, a district in northern Naples, was originally designed in the 1980s with modern high-rise buildings, green spaces, and recreational areas to enhance urban life. However, its potential was overshadowed by the influence of the Camorra, one of Naples' most notorious criminal groups. Over time, Scampia became a hub for illicit activities, with the Dillo clan controlling the area and turning it into one of the largest drug trafficking centers in Europe. In 2004, escalating tensions between the Dillo clan and a rival faction sparked violent clashes, leaving a lasting impact on the community. The district soon fell into decline, with its once modern high-rises deteriorating and public spaces becoming neglected. High unemployment further worsened the situation, pushing many young residents toward criminal activity in search of a livelihood. To address these issues, the Italian government launched an initiative in 2016 to demolish the most deteriorated buildings and relocate residents. Yet, despite these efforts, Scampia continues to struggle with poverty and economic hardship, making it a complex challenge for local authorities to resolve. But in Acapulco, Mexico, the district of Renacimiento faces an even more severe crisis, where criminal control has driven the city to the edge of collapse. Renacimiento, a neighborhood in Acapulco, Guerrero, Mexico, has become a major area of concern due to rising safety challenges. Social unrest and the influence of criminal organizations have contributed to a serious decline in public security. Once a well-known tourist destination, Acapulco now faces significant risks, making it one of the most difficult places in Mexico. Renacimiento is especially affected, with residents frequently dealing with disturbances linked to these ongoing problems. The neighborhood has turned into a center for illicit operations, with disruptions affecting everyday life. Despite continued efforts by law enforcement to control crime, progress remains slow and success has been inconsistent. Two dominant groups, 221 and Los Luz, are largely responsible for the ongoing instability in the area. For those considering a visit, especially in neighborhoods like Renacimiento, it is important to remain cautious. Staying updated on local conditions and following safety guidelines can help minimize risks and ensure a safer experience while in the region. San Pedro Sula, the second largest city in Honduras, presents a stark contrast to its name, St. Peter's Valley. With a population of over 700,000, the city boasts a rich historical background but has long struggled with public safety concerns. Frequently mentioned in global discussions on high-risk locations, San Pedro Sula has recorded elevated crime rates over the years. In 2014, it was among the most dangerous cities in the world. Local laws permit residents to own up to 5 firearms, fueling a widespread sense of insecurity. Rio Blanco, one of the city's most troubled neighborhoods, is a hotspot for criminal activity, with groups involved in illicit trade and theft. Random attacks on innocent bystanders have been reported, further unsettling the local population. Despite growing concerns, authorities are often slow to act, with corruption allegations suggesting that some officials turn a blind eye in exchange for financial incentives. While certain areas have seen minor safety improvements, the broader situation remains highly complex. The persistence of organized crime, extortion, and the expansion of illegal operations beyond their traditional strongholds indicate that efforts to curb these issues have yielded limited success. Next, we move to Comilocan, Honduras, where two infamous gangs, MS-13 and Barrio 18, are locked in a brutal conflict that continues to devastate the region. Comilocan, a district in San Pedro Sula, Honduras, has long struggled with the presence of organized criminal groups. The Mara Salvatrucha and Barrio 18 gangs dominate the area, engaging in illicit trade, extortion, and other unlawful activities that have affected both residents and outsiders. Over the past 2 decades, 52 journalists have lost their lives in this district, highlighting the ongoing instability. However, this number represents only a fraction of those impacted, as many criminal operations continue unchecked. For locals, living with constant uncertainty has become the norm. Authorities have faced significant challenges in addressing the situation, allowing crime to persist. A tragic incident in 2004, where 14 people lost their lives in a bus attack, remains a chilling reminder of the deep-rooted violence in the region. Some gang leaders have even spoken openly about their operations, granting interviews in which they boldly declare their intent to continue their activities. As of early 2025, Comilocan continues to face these same struggles. The government's reliance on military intervention to enforce public security has sparked debates about its long-term effectiveness and the potential risks to human rights. The district remains under a state of exception, with ongoing discussions about how to balance strict security measures while protecting the rights of the local population. What do you believe is the best solution to restore safety and stability to Comilocan? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe and follow the channel for more fascinating discoveries. Caracas, the capital of Venezuela, is widely regarded as one of the most dangerous cities in the world. With at least 120 major incidents per 100,000 residents each year, the situation has only worsened since the death of former President Hugo Chavez. Over the past 8 years, crime rates have surged by more than 50%, and abductions have more than doubled. The crisis is made worse by a shrinking police force, with fewer officers available to maintain law and order. Many young people in Caracas are drawn to criminal groups, seeing them as a status symbol rather than a danger. Instead of pursuing education, they become involved in illegal activities, with some as young as 20 reaching leadership roles. The district of Pater, located in eastern Caracas, is one of the hardest-hit areas, plagued by ongoing clashes, theft, kidnappings, and territorial disputes. Organized criminal groups, such as the faction led by Ylexis Alexander Acevedo Monasterios, known as Ylexis, further intensify the instability. These groups control trafficking, extortion, and violence, making daily life in Pater highly dangerous. Simply stepping outside can be a risk, and authorities struggle to contain the escalating lawlessness. Ironically, the only factor preventing these groups from expanding further is economic hardship, which limits their ability to acquire additional resources. Now let's head to Baltimore, where the Middle East District has been consumed by a similar kind of violence, where gang wars rage and no one is truly safe. The Middle East District of Baltimore gained widespread attention through The Wire, a television series based on real-life events that highlighted the city's deep-rooted social struggles. In the mid-20th century, the area was home to Czech American families who were active in St. Wenceslas Church and lived in relative peace. However, over time, the neighborhood began attracting young people from families facing economic difficulties. A turning point came in April of 1968, when citywide unrest led to property destruction and clashes with law enforcement, marking the beginning of long-term social challenges. Despite numerous efforts by authorities to improve public safety, crime remains a serious issue. In 2024, overall crime rates dropped by 3%, yet 1 in 10 residents remains at risk of encountering dangerous situations. The Hopkins Middle East area experiences crime rates 253% higher than the national average, with severe incidents occurring at a rate 684% above normal levels. A striking example took place on January 31st of 2025, when a series of violent events unfolded along East North Avenue. However, there have been some positive developments. In 2024, overall crime incidents declined by 23%, while non-violent offenses fell by 34%. Arrests increased by 14%, including a 29% rise in serious crime arrests and a 60% increase in minor offense arrests. Still, residents of the Middle East District continue to voice concerns over persistent safety threats. Community leaders stress the importance of continued efforts to restore stability and improve the quality of life for those living in the area. Trenchtown, a historically significant neighborhood in Kingston, Jamaica, is widely known for its deep connection to reggae music and cultural identity. However, in recent years, it has faced mounting challenges, including growing social unrest. In 2019, Kingston was ranked as one of the most troubled cities globally, with Trenchtown at the center of concern. This pattern continued into 2021, when violent clashes forced authorities to impose a curfew, though it did little to calm tensions. Innocent residents have increasingly been affected, such as on June of 2021, when 2 locals were caught in a shooting. The rising instability in Trenchtown raises serious concerns for its future. The United States Embassy has advised personnel to avoid the area, citing the presence of organized groups and ongoing territorial conflicts. High unemployment, poverty, and lack of education have fueled the crisis, leading many individuals to seek alternative means of survival. These socioeconomic struggles create an environment where crime thrives, leaving residents exposed to violence. As Trenchtown's reputation as a high-risk area continues to grow, the district struggles to attract investment in tourism, limiting its economic potential. The increase in crime also places additional pressure on law enforcement and community organizations, both of which already operate with limited resources, making it difficult to restore stability to the area and improve future prospects. Now, let's move to Felipe Camaro, a district in Natal, Brazil, where an epidemic of violence continues to spread. Stay tuned. Natal, the capital of Rio Grande do Norte, is famous for its booming tourism, drawing visitors with warm waters, white sand beaches, and lush tropical landscapes. However, beneath this beauty lies a growing security challenge. Felipe Camarão, in particular, is a neighborhood with significantly higher levels of unrest. While many hotels provide safe accommodations, tourists are advised to stay cautious, as incidents involving local groups can occur, even in broad daylight. Over the past 2 years, Felipe Camarão has witnessed several concerning events. In 2021, a resident suffered an accident on the way to work, yet authorities failed to investigate the case, reflecting a broader issue in the area. Local prisons have also faced serious challenges, including a violent altercation in 2017 at Alico Prison, which resulted in severe consequences. In 2025, 2 recent events further raised concerns. On February 1st, Robson, an employee and relative of a local business owner, was involved in an unfortunate incident in the KM6 area. Just days earlier, on January 29th, a young individual was caught in a dangerous situation at the intersection of Felipe Camarão and nearby streets around 9 p.m. These ongoing events have increased fears about Felipe Camarão, a neighborhood once considered relatively safe. Local authorities have now begun investigations and are working to improve security for both residents and visitors. Complexo do Alemão, a network of favelas in Rio de Janeiro, has long faced instability, with criminal groups maintaining control through illicit operations. Residents often witness violent confrontations between rival factions, forcing many to limit their time outdoors and avoid locations such as bars. Despite police efforts involving over 100 officers, crime remains a persistent issue in the region. One of the most significant incidents took place on July 21st of 2022, when a police operation resulted in 18 fatalities, including 16 individuals linked to criminal activity, 1 officer and 1 civilian. Human rights groups have raised concerns about excessive force and possible rights violations during such interventions. In February of 2017, tensions escalated sharply, with 28 firearm-related incidents recorded over 30 days, underlining the ongoing dangers residents face. Despite these challenges, community organizations and local activists continue to assist residents, working to improve security and living conditions. The people of Complexo do Alemão remain determined, striving for a more stable and hopeful future. However, in Caracas, Venezuela, the district of Caixa faces an even harsher reality, where crime, fear, and violence dominate daily life in ways that may shock you even more. Stay tuned. Caixa is a deeply troubled district in the western part of Caracas, where daily life is marked by extreme contrasts. Some residents travel in armored vehicles, while others search through trash just to find food. Like Pater, Caixa is heavily influenced by organized groups that hold significant control over the area. These groups operate with little oversight, using ruthless methods to secure resources. Caracas itself has one of the highest crime rates globally, with more than 55 incidents per 100,000 people annually, reinforcing its reputation as one of the most dangerous cities in the world. For children growing up in Caixa, life is shaped by constant hardship, widespread lawlessness, and the presence of drug-related activity. This harsh environment takes a heavy toll on mental and emotional well-being, creating an atmosphere of resignation. Many teenagers, influenced by their surroundings, form their own groups and follow similar paths, perpetuating an ongoing cycle of violence. It is a difficult reality to change, as law enforcement and local authorities continue to struggle in their efforts to restore stability. If you enjoyed today's video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Your support means a lot to us. Click on the video that appears on your screen right now. I'm sure you'll love this content. Comment below about the next country you want to see featured on our channel. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video. Thanks for joining us. Leave a comment, give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe for more interesting videos. See you in the next video.